We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
It is October, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about some very, very, very interesting stuff here. So crypto, will it follow the October? Will it follow the October? Will we see the pump? Will we see finally the breakout? That's what we are going to discuss. There are a couple of things that point absolutely in that direction, and also we have news at the Veve, maybe even for Ecomi side, so that is also going to be an interesting one to discuss. Make sure to stay tuned all the way through. So, good morning to all of you. I'm sorry, this is the first Crypto Morning Coffee this week, but it's already Tuesday, but it is the 1st of October, at least here. Maybe it's not yet 1st of October on the other side of the world, but that doesn't matter. So guys, if you are pumped for the pump, then make sure to smash up the like button right now for this morning coffee stream, for this live stream, and also don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy this type of content with notifications on. And yeah, let me see something in the chat. I see Trucking Hank, GM, good morning to you. A little bit of a slower start here, maybe because I went live a little bit earlier than usually, but no problem at all. I also quickly want to use this time to thank all the rare hodlers here, everyone here around me that is supporting this channel, that is sponsoring this channel. And so smash the like button, call some people in here. Share it with your friends. The Eagle says smash, smash, and smash. I can't even say that 3 times fast in a row. But obviously we are looking for what is actually going on in the market. And so let's look at the low time frame, what we have here. So the Bitcoin price has been heavily rejected at this bull flag upside. So we see this here, and it was following along, like from this wick out of the bottom side. It was following along a really nice trend, right? So it's just going up, and then the compression. Question mark, will it break out here? And it didn't. It got rejected. It even lost this support, which is a little bit unfortunate. But now it's coiling up again. We will see what's happening. Maybe we are going to come back here again for maybe retesting on this side, right? For Bitcoin. I don't personally think that this is necessarily a bad thing, but I would have obviously liked it to break out here already, right? So here on the upside. But you can't always get what you want, as a famous song says. So we will see what the next thing is here to unfold. Maybe we're just ranging until we finally break out. Maybe we are going sideways for another week or so. This could definitely happen. We could also go back here, retest, and then come up. This is all something where you would really have to look very deep in your coffee mug to to discover how exactly this will build. Yeah, but we are still in this bull flag. It's getting a very long bull flag. That's for sure. And in general or overall, what really matters today is that only a couple of hours ago, 6 hours, 5 hours ago, we had a weekly and a monthly close. So we should definitely take a look at the higher time frames and see what is happening there. Fact is that this big red candle was not ideal, was not what we wanted. And now we're back testing here. We're coming up here, but we could also bearishly retest this, right? So this is something that we see on the daily time frame. We are not really overbought or something like that, so that is good. The indicators show that. On the weekly, the rejection becomes a little bit more visible here for the weekly candle. However, the weekly candle also has 5 more days to play out, so we can't really say for sure how this will look, right? But we saw something similar here. We approached our upper resistance and got rejected, right? And the consequence was you come down for another one of these. That's not what we want. We want the breakout for October, otherwise it's going to be a boring October. Now, the one thing that is different though is the monthly, right? So you have basically this flag playing out in the monthly, and on the monthly it doesn't really look that bad, right? You get a little bit more of a wick, and here we are already green on the month, right? So yeah, and we have another whole month in front of us. So the question is really, when will this candle turn into a God candle and just stick its head out of this bull flag, right? And also here the indicators don't really say like you are overbought or something like that. Let's have a quick look at the TSI on the monthly, and then we go to the news. So also here we see it's now more parallel, right? So we didn't really converge here for a cross, because a cross here would mean the bull market is actually over, right? Bull market start, and once it crosses, it's over. So if we go into a pump here, I think we have we will be broadening again, right? So I don't know. The closer says Sol or Say for bigger gains. I think Say has the lower market cap for sure, right? But Solana is going to be probably that coin that is going to be hyped the most, right? So yeah, can you check on PNG and Spell token? Not yet. Let's do some news rundown. Overall, what didn't change is that we are still in this handle and want to break out of this, right? Target 120k. This didn't change. If it changes, I will tell you. It also didn't confirm, right? So don't come back in a month and say, but you said it's a cup and handle. Yeah, it is. But if we fall down here, it's not, right? Then it's not anymore. So basically, here you would invalidate. Also, if you go like this, you would invalidate at some point. And if you break out, you want a confirmation, and then you have it, right? So that's how it works. We can look at 1 or 2 coins later, right? But let's look first at what is going on. So we have a bit of a weird situation here, because some Feds came out yesterday and said, oh, 50 basis points in November cut, no problem, right? Market reacts bullish, but then Powell comes out and said Fed doesn't feel like it's in a hurry to cut quickly. And then also what you have, I didn't even pull this up, but I just saw this. So I don't know if it's even here on the CNBC, but we see ground forces moving into Lebanon at the moment from Israel. So that is something that is not liked by the markets, right? If you have a conflict heating up, right? So that's not what you like. But then also on the other side, you have the big stimulus cannon coming in, right? And we see China's stock surge has echoes of the 2015 bubble. What's different and so on. And we see this here. China pumped in a lot of money into the market, and you see this here, like the Shanghai and the SCSZ component and so on. Like, they are going nuclear on the stimulus. 8% in the stock market, 10% in whatever, like the tech index, probably, like the tech index. China A50, 7%, and the Hang Seng 2.5. Okay, but they are outperforming some altcoins on a regular day, which is quite crazy, right? So this is the record, like the most since 2015. Okay, so I don't know if this is good or bad, right? But yeah. So, and there were a couple of big investors that were basically saying that this was going to happen. So yeah, we see this here. Also here you see it, like look at this candle chart with the gap here opening on the Shanghai. It's just crazy. It's really crazy, and it all comes down to global liquidity. But first, let's quickly look at this here. So Taiwan's regulator officially allows professional investors to buy Bitcoin ETFs. So we are at that point now, where Taiwan just lays the groundwork for massive investment. I think this is bullish overall. So far, Bitcoin has put in the most bullish. It's now it closed on the 8% or so, but it has closed on the most bullish September that we've ever seen. We had 3%, we had even 6% in 2016, but every time Bitcoin closes in the green on September, October, November, and December are also green. Now this is the strongest move. Here we saw that the next ones were okayish after a strong September, right? But in halving years, all of them are green. September, October, November, right? So like we saw it here also. So the question is, will October bring 30% gains, 40% gains? What will be the return that we get out of October, right? And it all comes down now back to what happens in China, what is going to go with the FOMC. It all comes down to global liquidity. And as you can see here, global liquidity is just on a rise. It's just pumping, right? But Bitcoin is here basically on the correlation scale, right? So Bitcoin still has this small consolidation here in front of it, while the global liquidity is already going out of control. And we see it in gold, right? We see it in gold, but Bitcoin is behind. So it's time for Bitcoin to react and move. And we also see it here, right? We just have the breakout for this global liquidity signal. So it's a little bit different here, but we see here on this global liquidity signal really that when this happens, it's bull run ready, bull run on, right? And the funny thing is, you can have the worst news as long as you have the money printer go brr, and you do this with liquidity, the pump will come. You can have ground forces invading whatever country around Israel, like Lebanon and so on. You can have a C-19 pandemic crisis. You can have whatever conflict is heating up looking like World War III. It doesn't matter as long as they print money and they pump it. You might have a crash, but you will ultimately go into your bull run. And that's what we are seeing right now. Okay, so we just have to be a little bit more patient, let the first days of October roll through. Also let the markets open on October now. Everyone is back with their monies. Then you have in November, December, you have like the year-end bonus coming in, right, for everyone. People get their 13th salary in many countries. So people generally spend more money in the end of the year. That's also a factor, right? Interestingly, I think this is something to discuss, because we have been seeing that although that Bitcoin didn't really break out and still where it was 6 months ago, the altcoins have been doing quite good in the last days. And what happened here is that the Bitcoin dominance is falling back into its pattern. And I mean, can I say it was intentional? Probably not, but I think it's remarkably following what we drew in here. So it's going to be interesting to see this. So now that we have really that we have Bitcoin dominance falling, people obviously are talking again about a potential altcoin season, and I would say that we have in general a support here, right? So this support would be the first thing that needs to be lost, right? Something like this, and then you come to this. Overall, I think we need to think bigger than daily timeframes. We need to check this out on at least a weekly or so to identify where do we have support that really is critical, right? Something like this, where we had in the Bitcoin dominance, we took weeks to come through, right? So that would be a support for me. Also, where we mark kind of a bounce or so, where we would say, okay, if we lose this, I would say the altcoin season is on, right? Now here, it can lead to a more collapse. The altcoins go parabolic, but ultimately, I want to see Bitcoin fly off, see this goes probably sideways, and then at some point, you lose all the supports and you go nuts. You go parabolic. Da Closer asks, do you think recession will shorten this bull cycle or 500 plus day normal cycle like before? I would say normal until proven otherwise. I mean, we have indicators that would tell us if the bull run is done or if it's over. One of them being that usually on the end of a bull run, when Bitcoin tops out, Bitcoin dominance starts falling like a rock. Yeah, so that is one. The other one is the TSI. Then you can look at the RSI, you can look at the MACD, and you can form an educated guess on what's happening. You can look at where we are with the liquidity. You can look at the DXY and USDT dominance, right? So there are a lot of things that you can align to determine, are we at the end or not, right? So I would say this is too premature to look at this. And I also would think, why? So ask yourself this question: why would a recession, or why would the recession that is already going on shorten the Bitcoin cycle? Because if global liquidity drives the Bitcoin cycle and money printing is necessary to come out of a recession, to give stimulus to the economy, then why would it shorten? If we have a recession now, it would lead to extensive money printing, and it would give stimulus to our bull run, fuel to our bull run. So the more that people get laid off, the more money the government has to print. This, I think, the big misconception is that the bull run is driven by regular people spending their income on Bitcoin. That's not the case anymore. What is the case? I mean, for retail, yes, when retail comes in and so on, blah, blah. But at the moment, wealthy investors and institutions are buying through ETFs. And that is not driven by a regular household income. So if companies are doing cost cutting, and then they get something from the government like stimulus, bailouts, whatever, they will be ready to buy stuff. And I'm not talking about that they get government aid and then they buy Bitcoin, which would be a correct move. But no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that they in general invest and spend, and the whole machinery of the economy is starting again. So once people see that the economy is doing that again, hiring again, buying machines, buying more oil, whatever, like resources, and they go to the market and invest in, I don't know what, everything, right? So once people see that, they will start being confident again, right? And if you're confident and you have money at hand, then you will also spend, right? That's the normal way. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how this looks. Now, I think one more interesting one will be the DXY, and it definitely what Powell said didn't help us. And this is also the reason why we can't break out, because we did not fall here. We can't break out for Bitcoin because we're just refusing to abandon this level for the DXY, right? So what we really need is, I think the elections plus another rate cut plus more money printing is going to lead for the DXY to do a final loss, like finally losing this support, right? We are clinging on somehow. We lost it and we didn't. We lost it, we didn't. So this leads to the consolidation or the range building that we're seeing here. So we really want this to fall, right? We want this to lose its grip. It's like it's clinging on, like someone is hanging on one arm from a bridge, right? And there's no one that can help this. So this is going to happen. Because at some point, and we see this, if we go to the FOMC watch tool, you can at all point you can watch that. So it's still 37 days until the next rate decision, right? So more than a month. It will be in Pumpvember, and the majority of people believes it's going to be a 25er here. But there's also 40% that think there's another 50 basis point rate cut coming, and that would be very bullish. So we will see how this is. So we have two more meetings. One is 7th of November, and it's funny is it's right after the elections, right? So there will be the elections, and then there will be this, and then there's the 18th, and for the 18th of December, the market says we are already down by the 18th of September 75 basis points, right? You see this here. So there will be the cut of another. So they expect that we are losing 75 basis points overall, right? So, and then even some believe that we will have 250s basically going to this. So this will be interesting how it plays out. But you can check this here, what is going to be once we're coming closer. This will obviously vary, and maybe the market will form a decision before. But it's also going to be important what the Fed members say, how they justify it, why they are going to cut more heavily or not, right? So what gains more impact is in the next jobless readings and the next CPI readings, right? These gain more impact because they will decide how much the Fed will loosen. And then also at some point they will have to do quantitative easing and actually bring that money, that liquidity into the market. So it's going to be very, very interesting how that plays out. Now, probably and very likely, without even looking at it too much, we have a bounce on the USDT dominance, on the US Tether dominance. And we did, right? Here, just in our drawing, we expect that obviously that at such a resistance here, we don't really have a straight and clean cut through. But what we're also seeing already is that we have formed a lower low here. So we want this to break to the downside because then Bitcoin goes up, you remember. and you see this here, right? So this is a lower high, so very good. We want this to come down here and lose support. That's what we want, and that's right the inverse. Basically, if you turn this chart upside down, you get the Bitcoin chart. It's so crazy. Yeah, that is absolutely going to happen. So okay, so we see. Let's look at altcoins. So altcoins have also something interesting to show, because they just retested on this horizontal support, right? You see this is there's a lot of confluence. Actually, it already starts here. Confluence, support, resistance, support, and altcoins, they broke out, they retest, they will go. Everything points in the direction that things are going to fly very, very soon. Okay, so let's look at the market quickly here. It's also something that we see here on the week. So we have ENA leading. No, actually Veve is leading, and we have good Bonk is leading. Sorry, I didn't see it. Even Bonk is here behind me. Look at that. Bonk is leading with 47%. Meme coins have a really good day. Apparently, Pepe is up 35% with 45%. There are more. Eric Lambert says Sui, Render probably, and Solano are very good. Yeah. So we see it here, Chainlink 7% and so on. Some coins on the week, they really moved hard. The day not so bullish yet, but we will see. ETHW 71%, Aleo 43% on the last week, Dog 54%. So a lot of stuff there. eHex just popped out there. Yeah, and then this is absolutely crazy. Look at, for example, 300% SPX, and also 228% Moodang, very crazy. And yeah, we will see how this plays out. Yeah. So that is for the altcoins. So someone asked me to look at the coin, right? So here's Solana, by the way. Here's Solana. So Solana's still ranging, and it's trying to break out of this pattern, right? So it's almost like if price is kind of compressing here, something like that, right? But it's a bullish pattern. I wouldn't be too worried about this. I'd say it's going to take a little breather here, and then it's going to continue, right? So here you see it better. Like, this doesn't mean that this is turning around, coming back and losing support. Not at all, right? It just can continue like this. I think there was, what was the soul center for begins? Can you check on PNG and Spell? Let's check on Spell just quickly. And then we go to Ecomi and Veve. So what's going on with Spell? What's that? Let's go on the weekly. Yeah, it has some, I mean, that was a brutal drop. But what is definitely noteworthy here, just without looking anything bigger, is that you have a higher high here, right? So that in itself is a good thing, right? I think it's probably going to do more bottom forming, and then you will see maybe something like this, and then you get some kind of a double bottom or something like that. So it could be, but you need to see how this plays out, right? I mean, it's close to its bottom, but yeah. Okay, so that is it. Then let's quickly check out the OMI. The OMI price is also that's not, don't laugh. It's not about, we can't laugh, right? But because we are very much at all-time lows, but there is a little bit of a green candle here on the new Veve CEO announcement, which we are going to talk about. Overall, we are now at the bottom of this wedge, and if this wedge holds any truth to it, I mean, you see it has some touch points here. If this wedge holds any truth to it, and we're talking about this to this to this to this, up here and down here, right? So if there's any truth to that, then we have just reacted on the bottom of this wedge, and now we need to see a move of strength because the price gets compressed in this downtrend, and now we need a turnaround here, right? Because otherwise, if we lose this wedge, we're going to tumble down to, I don't know what, 0001, which no one wants to see because the FUD will be even harder, right? So the question is, when will Ecomi find its bottom? And there is also even more, right? We have been dropping price discovery to the downside. The question is, will we find a bottom range? Will we coil up slowly? We don't know. It's still, in my opinion, we are still in price discovery until proven otherwise to the downside. And that is definitely how I will behave. And that means I don't see any signs of reversal, means I don't have to buy, right? Hey, Troy Paris, what's going on? Smash the like button. Thank you, Trucking Hank, for pointing that out. Please, let's smash up the like button here for the early stream. And look at this. So, oh, sorry, that was, oh yeah, exactly. I pulled this up, latest in space, because annual solar eclipse, known as the Ring of Fire, will occur on Wednesday, October 2nd. Will this be the Ecomi reversal? It will be visible from Easter Islands, Argentina, Chile, but nonetheless, will this be the Omi sign in the sky, like the Batman sign? Will this be the turnaround, like the magical moment where you guys let me know. I have chosen to drink from this Ecomi mug until it's either dead or or at the moon, right? So, but what is going on? So, Veve has hired, 2 days ago they announced it, I think. Yesterday there was no stream. They have hired the Ben Rose, this guy, from Binance, right? So this guy came from Binance, and we're going to look at that also in a second. But let's first of all listen to this part of the announcement.
Dave and Dan, very early on in our conversations, were saying, look, our users want to hear more from us. They want more openness and transparency. They want to understand more about the roadmap and what it looks like. So I'm committing to the Veve plan here. That's what I will be here to do. We want Dave and Dan to focus on the stuff that makes this business great and is going to take us into the future. I'm going to make sure to keep you updated on that. And so we're working with the team on how that's going to look. But, we hear you, we're listening to you, and we're here for you. David.
So that is definitely good to hear. Someone is here to listen to us and so on. And also, I think, so first of all, I want to point out that this is something that we have been asking for basically on this channel over a year ago, like when we still made the videos in the field and so on, which I really would love to go back to. I just can't find the time to go out there. And so we said in one of those videos, what's really necessary is that David can focus on the license stuff, Dan focuses on whatever Dan does, and then they have another CEO, another guy that deals with all the other stuff, like how the business from a bird's eye perspective runs, the community action, whatever, right? So this was something that we asked for, and I would say I was really vocal about it also for like giving a voice to the concerned, to the fathers even, right? And I said this, and now it's happening as like, I would say that everyone who was in the concerned camp now has to acknowledge that at least that is now happening what we've been asking for, which is good, right? But on the other side, we will have to wait and see what the real impact is. So for me, right now, just this part sounds like a glorified community manager. But I hope he has more roles and action, whatever, in the company, and can influence more than only setting up a roadmap and communicate with the community what's going to happen. But if this means that we get updates back, and if this means that there will be a roadmap, and if this means that as someone who's coming from Binance, he probably understands the importance of the token in this project, then I am bullish, right, on this new hire. Okay, so and this is obviously people are now highlighting because he's been hired as a Veve one guy that Ecomi is a very important part, right? So what do we see here? If we go on LinkedIn, you basically see, okay, he has been CCO, Chief Commercial Officer, for a year and 3 months at something that's Code HQ. I don't know that. But then he has been about 2 years, a little bit more than 2 years at Binance, right? So he has been CEO and General Manager at Binance New Zealand, and you have to add this really together, and then at Australia, New Zealand, right? So he took over the entire region, and I would say this is bullish. I mean, he did it more than 2 years. Usually, if you suck at the job, you're gone within a couple of months. So I would say that he did it okay-ish. But on the other side, if I personally, as someone in business, would look at the resume, I would say, you have been 1 year here, you have been 2 years here. What makes you move on all the time, right? Just to keep that in the back of our mind. On the other side, CEO job is brutal. You don't want to do the CEO job at a company maybe for so long, who knows, right? It's probably very stressful, right? So he has been at Binance. So I think from an OMI perspective, that's actually better than you could want it, right? Because you have now someone on board that has contacts at Binance, right? So that is good. And that is someone that comes probably from the crypto perspective, and maybe will put a little bit this other, like retail, we are focusing on the Web 2 guys a little bit into perspective, right? As someone that's probably very hard in crypto and has made a lot of experiences in crypto. Also probably someone that sees the necessity of exchanges, also for NFTs, right? Maybe more than the Veve app exchange. And yeah, we will see how he answers questions around Ecomi. I think he has been very outspoken, or not outspoken, but very reactive. We can see this here on his Twitter. Actually, I'm going to let myself notify if he says something. So we see this like, this is an extremely important Veve related question. Please give me your top 3 favorite superheroes as well. Welcome to the home team. That's exactly not the question that we want to see, but it's fine. Spider-Man, Robocop, and Super Grover. Yeah, so I think he has been this was funny because he was like, I'm thrilled to join. David Yu tags him, and then he's like, he tags like whatever whatever account, wrong account that's not Dan, and this account has is called Marvel, has only 9 followers, and is called Bitches Are Always Fucked Up. So and then people like, this is the right Dan, and he'll never let me forget this. He literally tags the wrong co-CEO. Oh my god, man. Come on, guys. Right, whatever, right? So here we see where he was at Binance, right? A little bit of Binance shirt collection. Obviously, everyone gets hyped over it. Dan looked very tired. I hope he's getting some sleep. Yeah, he's also a shareholder of what? Of Orbis? Or of what? I don't know that, but it's interesting. Yeah, so he hasn't commented too much. I think I saw more replies. I don't know why we don't see all of the replies here. Show more replies. Maybe that was all in the same conversation thread or so. But it's nice to see, like, I think everyone here is positive, right? I mean, we have Dr. Profit, but also, like, for example, Chevy Torres here, best news I've seen from Veve for many years by a long way. So this says something, right? And I think it's the right decision. Be advised, you take the wrong Dan. Yep, exactly. Yeah, so stuff like that. We will see how this turns out, but it's the right time. It's before the bull run, it's before altcoin season, it's before the massive pump. Overall, it's really good, right? I have seen more replies of him, and I don't know where they are. I had seen something, like someone already asked a question. He responded something that's important to him, or I don't know what, but I can't find it. Now, I think this is good, and we will see how good this will be for Omi if they will. Yeah. It was a secret message from him. He really likes Sesame Street Big Bird. Oh, okay. That's great. I think he was also, I don't know if it was him, but when we had this Binance New Zealand interview with David, I think it was him in this one, but I'm not sure. So yeah, what's also big is, you remember the stream where we talked about the Stanley Gibbons partnership. So here's what Veve is going to bring. Actually, they're going to bring the prestigious 1840 penny black stamp is coming to Veve, right? So it's not the stamp album, it's actually graded stamp, basically. So this is coming to Veve. And there's more. If you land a secret rare penny black digital collectible from the Veve store, you'll receive one of only 150 original 1840 penny black physical stamps displayed in a Veve exclusive case. More details coming soon. So this is this drop is guaranteed to sell out, and everyone will try to get the secret rare, probably. So I think not everything is graded and cased. I think it's a normal stamp as we see it here. I don't even know if anything is graded on the drop itself, or if it's only what you're getting later on, or cased, right? So we see it here. We have 4,000 normal ones, and they put the price on 10. But obviously, I will try my luck. Obviously, I will come into the trap and try my luck. So here we have the rare is 2.8k, and then you have the ultra rare at 1.8, and then you have the secret rare only 150. So they're really going with the what is it called, like here. I really want the secret rare, so I might mint more than one if possible, maybe two or so. I will just try my luck. But there are only 150, so that's wild, right? And before, stamps were USPS stamps were always 6, now it's 10. So I think Veve will make some good money on this drop, very, very likely. Trucking Hank says, he said it in his introduction tweet. He said shareholder. Hey, what's up, Peter? What's going on? So this is, overall, I think this is a really good drop setup. You have the chase, you have an accurate price point, and you have a physical that you can get by getting the secret rare from the drop. I would still like if they activate the secondary market more in you can buy something from secondary and you get something as well, but we will see. Maybe they can't do that. What else is there for Veve? Let's look quickly. When is it going to fly? Only when money hits something else than the big players, right? So more to altcoin season, I would say. Celebrating Marvel Comics 1, also big. More comics. The Star Wars thing produced some really nice images. So a couple of people are playing with that. So I think not too much new. There is a Carnage drop. This one, and I think it's up like the comic drop. And I think the rare and the ultra rare cover are absolute fire. I think it's coming today. Peter, I have no idea what Mantra OM is, but let's see. Mantra. Oh, there we go. It's in the top 100, actually. Oh, that's the Mantra. You say it's RWA, so it probably will do very good if they have a good good tokenomics. I don't know exactly. I don't even see the bubble here, even though it's supposed to be. I think it's a super small one there. No, that's Polygon. I'm blind probably, but yeah. So I think the categories that will fly are gaming, AI, RWA, and then maybe Gamblefy, Socialfy, stuff like that, right? So these are more bets, but everything that has AI somewhere in it will probably fly. Oh, there it is in the middle. Let's see if I click on this. Have they okay? That's why you ask. Like, no, yeah, OM, not OMI, but OM. Yeah, that's it. So this is a weekly chart. They have pumped quite a bit. That looks actually like this looks like a really nice chart. Maybe there is a better one on KuCoin. No, I think this is the launch date though. Yeah, they have pumped. They have gone up 7x, 8x almost, which is crazy. They're probably, they're already cooling off again, so it might run more. But at some point after such a run, I would expect a deeper retracement, something like this, right? Maybe look, for example here, like this resistance, come back and then go, right? But who knows? This is just these coins that came out recently. All the coins that have no market before, they can just continue. Mantra is worthy of a look. Absolutely, yeah. It looks like the chart looks juicy. I mean, it has already made a lot of gains. It's in the top 100 already. So you want to find something like this a little bit earlier, right? More on this one, on this breakout. But yeah, doesn't mean it can't go another 10x from here. BlackRock has bought it, okay. Then it's even more bullish. But yeah, but this is already like, you have to see, this is already news that has already occurred, right? It's not a rumor. So yeah, on that note though, guys, I will have to go. Thank you for being here. Smash up the like button, please. Subscribe to the channel with notifications on. And I think very, very soon we are going to fly off into October. And obviously we will be here to analyze how high we go and where we go. Another one is Aero. Okay, we will look at we will have to do a dedicated altcoin stream for that. So make sure to subscribe with notifications on to know when the altcoin stream is flying. Thank you, Troy, and everyone else. Thank you wherever you are on the world. Have a great morning.